Joining me now, Republican Representative Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania and New Jersey Democrat Representative Josh Gottheimer. They are the co-chairs of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus. Good to have you both with us. I have to say, just before we came on the air, I was just witnessing a really lovely moment between the two of you, and it would be nice if we saw more of that. So it's good to have you both here. As we look at what's happening today, and frankly, where we move from here. Representative Gottheimer, I know you sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi over the weekend asking her to hold a vote on this bipartisan measure as soon as possible. That, of course, as many Democrats, including President Biden, as we know, are linking it with the passage of this $3 trillion budget plan. So do you feel your concerns are being addressed?
Well, I think the president, came out pretty clearly and said that we should vote on the infrastructure package, and it's bipartisan. It's going to, as you know, today is a historic day. The Senate's going to pass the largest investment in infrastructure in a century, including everything from water to electric vehicles to roads, bridges, and rails to transit. Obviously, a significant bipartisan effort that's gone on. We've worked in the Problem Solvers Caucus, Brian and I, the 58 of us in the caucus, working closely with our Senate colleagues now for months. And now we got to get it done in the House. There's no reason when you've got 2 million jobs a year on the line and a crumbling infrastructure in places like here in Jersey that you'd wait a single day longer than you have to get this done. And it doesn't mean we don't have to, that we shouldn't consider other legislation as well. But I think we should get this up for a vote, a standalone vote, as quickly as possible.
Well, what do you think the chances of that are at this point? Because, while Democrats have that slim majority in the House, in some ways you're in the minority.
Well, actually, no. I mean, I'm optimistic that we're going to get a vote on this. There won't be a delay. That we'll get this done. The country wants it, and the momentum that's building here with Democrats and Republicans, the fact that you're going to have plenty of Republicans in the Senate behind this as well. What the country wants. They want to see us that we can govern, that we can work together, that we can solve problems for them, and this just makes sense. There's just no reason after all these years we've been waiting for physical infrastructure. When I've got the third worst roads in the country here in Jersey and the third of our bridges are unsafe, that we would wait. We should get this done and get shovels in the ground as quickly as possible.
So, Representative Fitzpatrick, as you know, some Republicans have already said they will vote no on infrastructure because the CBO says it would add $250 billion to the national debt. How concerned are you about that when it comes to the House?
Thanks for having us, Erica. We just have to explain the reality. The CBO scores what it scores. And we knew this. We knew that we were going to get about half of the paid forwards in hard dollars, the other half in soft dollars that the CBO does not score but are legitimate paid fors. I'll give you one example, Erica. About $54 billion or so of money that was authorized and appropriated but unspent in unemployment insurance compensation that many of the states returned. That's part of a paid for. That's something CBO doesn't score, but that's a legitimate paid for. So we believe this bill is paid for. It does so with no tax increases. It provides an historic investment in our nation's infrastructure. We are the wealthiest country on planet Earth, and yet we rank in the 30s when it comes to infrastructure, and we are behind China, by the way. So we have a lot of great arguments to make. The best one, Erica, is that for the first time in this Congress and the first time in this administration, you have a bipartisan, bicameral, historic investment that is supported by the White House, and that, by the way, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the AFL-CIO both support. You don't get those opportunities very often, and we can't let this opportunity pass.
You're both sounding very confident, which is good to hear. We do know, though, we'd be lying if we didn't say there wasn't some pushback. And even pointing out as many as 18 Republican senators expected to vote to pass it today in the Senate. But we know that the former president is threatening to primary lawmakers, Republican lawmakers. How much of a concern do you think that is, Congressman? How much of a hold does he still have on your party?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out, right? I mean, we believe, our caucus believes, and that's who Josh and I speak for and work with, that you don't allow the perfect to be the enemy of the good. We'd rather get 80% of something than 100% of nothing. And you take every single individual bill and vote it up or down on its own merits, irrespective of what comes before or after it. So, we're engaging with our party leadership on both sides, Josh on his side, and I'm certainly engaging with our leadership. We're over-communicating. There are no surprises here. Everything's open and honest and transparent. We're educating people on the bill that we helped write, that we built from the ground up, starting in a bipartisan, bicameral summit with Governor Hogan at his mansion in the governor's mansion in Annapolis, where we had governors present. And it's all started and culminated to this. A lot of hard work's gone into this. So the only thing that I ask of my colleagues, and I know Josh feels the same, if you're going to criticize something, you better have an alternative that you can point to that's better than the one we've created. But it's not okay to criticize those people doing the hard work, rolling their sleeves up, early mornings, late nights to try to get to 60 votes in the Senate when you have done nothing and offer no alternative.
Sounds like what I tell my kids. If you got a complaint, bring me a solution. Congressman Gottheimer, before we let you go, look, there's a long recess happening here. The House is not back until September 20th. How is that time going to be used?
Well, I was at the Warren County Fair in northern New Jersey the other day, and I can't tell you how many people came up to me, Democrats and Republicans, and said, hey, I can't believe you guys are actually going to get this done. I'm so sick of hitting those potholes in Jersey when we're driving, and there's that tunnel between New York and New Jersey. It's 113 years old. You have to fix that. And I said, don't worry, we're going to do it. And I think we should come back in August and vote on it, and vote on this as soon as the Senate sends it to us in the House. And that hopefully today we're going to vote on. We should vote on it in the House. And as Brian said, the idea that we'd wait till November when you've got not just the business community, but you've got labor behind this and 2 million jobs on the line a year, why we would delay makes no sense. We certainly can consider other legislation, as we always do, and we should. But the bottom line is we should bring this for a vote. It just makes sense. The country behind it, and Democrats and Republicans are behind it. And I really believe this is the model for how we should govern together.
Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick and Josh Gottheimer, thank you both. Nice to have you with us this morning.
Thanks so much.